Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck profile. We're here today with some Herald of Perfection Cyber Angels Star Seraph deck profile. And so this deck actually came out of the blue for me. I just saw a lot of people playing it on Dev Pro. Heard that it topped somewhere, someplace, and it is honestly pretty powerful, pretty great. You can make a lot of nice rank 4s. It has a lot of consistency, a lot of great cycling as well. And overall is a pretty decent deck. So let's just go right into the deck profile. We're running Gem Knights. That's not something I see other people playing in this deck when I see it online, is Gem Knights, because just being able to drop that Brilliant Fusion, you can send a Star Seraph Scepter or a Mondru, but probably a Star Seraph Scepter to the graveyard. That sets up your Ritual Sanctuary, so that way both effects are live. And you can summon this guy out if you possible with a Ritual Sanctuary, and it's just really nice overall. Just having that extra normal summon, so you could summon out another Star Seraph and another Mondru, or just like 2 Star Seraphs if you open up with 2. And it's, yeah, just really nice having that extra normal summon. It sucks if you can't get it off, or if you banish them with Pot of Desires or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because if you draw into a dead spell card, you can always ditch it for Ritual Sanctuary, and it's none the worse. So anyways, now onto the Star Seraph engine. We're just running 3 Scepter and 3 Sovereignty, so that's your searching, that's your draw power. You can make a Deltros just by having 1 Star Seraph Scepter and 1 Sovereignty in your hand. You summon this guy, he will get off his search for the Sovereignty. The Sovereignty will activate in your hand to summon itself out. You search out another Sovereignty, and Sovereignty will summon itself out again, and you draw 2 cards off of Sovereignty's effect, because when you special summon them, you draw a card, and then can special summon that card if it was a Star Seraph, which you wouldn't do if you drew into another Sovereignty. So if you draw into another Sovereignty, don't special summon it, because you can just special summon it anyways using its own effect and draw another card, which is better. But if you draw into a Star Seraph Scepter, then yeah, summon that, because then you get off another effect, because its effect is not once per turn to search, so that is definitely lovely. And then to give you even more draw power, if you use this card for an XZ summon that needs 3 or more materials, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy that card, and if you do, draw 1 card. So that is definitely very nice. You can target your own cards to draw cards if you want, or just destroy your opponent's card. And with Deltros, your opponent cannot respond to the effect, because where is the wood when opponent cannot activate cards or effect when you normal or special summon a monster. So that's definitely very nice. They can still negate it, they can still strike it, warning it, whatever, but hey, if you get off this effect, you get to destroy a card, Night Beam it, and they can't respond, you draw a card as well. So definitely very nice, and of course Deltros will allow you to pop another card as well, so it gets rid of practically anything that's really annoying. And then for Mondru, we're just running through Mondru. He's definitely very helpful, just getting to our Cyber Angels or our Perfection, just having that extra searching potential. And then to round out the non-ritual monsters, we have 2 Max C, just for more consistency. I like playing Max C with Pot of Desires, because if it gets banished, it's not the worst thing in the world. And definitely in a deck like this, your opponent is going to try to special summon monsters and not activate effects, such as maybe making Utopia the Lightning to run over Herald of Perfection. And that is where Machine Angel Ritual is very important in this deck. But Maxi really helps you out there, because if they do try to get off a whole bunch of inherent spell summons, if you use this card right, you can net gain off of it and then be able to come back next turn and summon out another Herald of Perfection and really make their day bad. And then Herald of Perfection, that is the key card of this deck. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, send 1 fairy type monster, such as Star Seraph Scepter, such as Mondru, such as Sovereignty, such as Herald of Perfection, such as Cyber Angel Benten, from your hand to the graveyard, and get the activation if you do destroy it. So definitely very nice, just being able to negate anything that is an encounter trap, or doesn't say that things can't be responded to it. And then Benton, we don't care about his effect while he's on the field. He inflicts piercing, but at least I think it does. No, if he destroys by monster, inflict damage to the monster's original defense. So, get to burn your opponent. But if this card is tributed, add 1 light fairy type monster from your deck to your hand, such as Herald of Perfection, such as Cyber Angel Benten, such as Star Seraph Scepter, such as Star Seraph Sovereignty, such as Mondru. So it searches out practically any monster in your deck, except for your Gem Knight, which you wouldn't want to, and your Max C, which I could see why it would be nice to search Max C out. And then Instant Fusion is Instant Fusion, allows us to summon out our monsters from our graveyard, helps with making our rank 3 or rank 4 players that require 3 materials. And of course Norden is a fairy type monster, so you can use him to make Fairy Cheer Girl as well to draw even more cards. There's a lot of draw power in this deck, guys, a lot of draw power. And then we have Rogeki. We're playing Rogeki because Vanity the Emptiness poops on this deck very hard. In fact, I'm going to be talking about the decks that this deck probably won't do so well against. And then pre-prep is a +1, just being able to search out Herald of Perfection and then the ritual spell card, and then you're pretty much set up. Like if you have Herald of Perfection and Cyber Angel Ben 10, you're pretty well set up because it's just nice. You're gonna have a card to negate, and you can get off a search. At least one card that you can use to negate. Maybe two if you don't summon the card you search. But it desires banish 10 cards from your deck, draw 2, pretty standard. I just like this card a lot. Like, I don't really even see anything that's too off the banish unless you banish all copies of it. Like, yeah, if you banish 2 Ritual Sanctuary, that kind of poops on your parade because Ritual Sanctuary can put Ritual Sanctuary back in your deck. So, that's kind of annoying. But honestly, like, I wouldn't be upset if both of the Brilliant Fusions were banished or if both of my Gem Knights were banished. But if all 3 still have cells, yeah, that would make me unhappy. But if 2 or 1, no. Same with Manju, I'd rather all 3 Manjus get banished than Star Save Scepter. And, like, yeah, honestly, the Honor the Herald, it kind of sucks when one of them do get banished. But pretty much if you get out just one Herald of Perfection, you're going to be good. That Herald of Perfection is probably going to stay on the field, especially if you have Machine Angel Ritual in the graveyard. So that's very helpful. And then we have Soul Charge. Soul Charge is really nice because it helps with making more Ring 4 plays. And, of course, you can summon out a Herald of Perfection that you properly Ritual summoned. So that's another plus as well. Because if they do get over it, you can just say, nope, it's back. Have fun. And then triple terraforming because it's just, we really want to see this card. This card is just so good at searching. Really nice at searching. And of course, it's just another spell card that we can have in our graveyard that we can put back in our deck using Ritual Sanctuary. So that way we can summon out a level 4 or level 6 fairy type monster. And then we have not pre-prep, just regular preps that will allow us to add a Herald of Perfection or a Cyber Angel Ben 10 and then 1 ritual spell card from a graveyard to your hand. So probably Ben 10 is what you're going to search because you kind of want to keep Herald of Perfection for your pre-preps. And then Dawn of the Herald is definitely very nice. The only downside to this card is that it must be equal to 6. So if you have 2 level 4s, you cannot use this card to summon out Herald of Perfection. It must be exactly equal to 6. But if you have Star Sayer Scepter and Max C, then you're in business. You can summon out that, and then you can banish this card once side ritual is complete and add one of the monsters that you attributed to your hand, such as Cyber Angel Benton. So you summon out this guy using Cyber Angel Benton. Benton will search for like Seraph or something, and then you get a banish this to add Benton back to your hand, so you can go for another ritual summon and get off more searches, or just have a card that you can use to negate. And you got off another search. So definitely very, very helpful. And then we're only running 2 Machine Angel Ritual, but that's because we really don't care about Ritual Summoning or Benton. We just want this card kind of be in the graveyard for Ritual Sanctuary and just have it to search and stuff like that. Twin Twister is Twin Twister. Back row can be annoying, especially as Solemn Strike, but if Twin Twister really helps out with that. And so, but we also have pretty decent popping power with the Star Seraphs. But we gotta make sure the Star Seraphs go off. And then we have Brilliant Fusion, of course, like I was talking, just being able to summon out Sephionite to get that extra normal summon and just more deck thinning to make Ritual Sanctuary such a key card to this deck. It has 2 effects: discard 1 spell card, add 1 light ritual monster, or ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. Now, the fact that you can add a ritual spell card is great because if you really don't have anything better to, like, honestly, I always search out Benton, same with Preparation Rites, I search out Benton. But if you don't really have a setup to ritual summon, search out Machine Angel Ritual, and then next turn ditch that for either a Benton because you're doing the pre-prep, or you can now summon out a Herald of Perfection, or search out another Machine Angel Ritual, and then you just fill up your grave with more spells so that way you can summon out your level 4 fairy type monsters that are in your graveyard. And so it really helps out. Just keep on searching out spells unless you can make a Herald of Perfection, in which case search out Benton, or if you already have the Benton, search out Herald of Perfection or Dawn of the Herald. But I really like to keep Dawn of the Herald in the deck just so that way our pre-preps are live. But if it isn't live, then you can always ditch it for Ritual Sanctuary, so it doesn't really matter in the long run. Its other effect is you can return spell cards from your graveyard to your deck and summon out a light fairy type monster from your graveyard to level equals the number of cards you shuffled into your deck. So you have to return 4 for these guys, 6 for these guys, and that's pretty much it. And so that is it for this deck. It's pretty decent, pretty surprisingly consistent. Well, not this deck is consistent, like that wasn't surprising, but it consistently wins when you wouldn't expect it sometimes, especially for Herald of Perfection, because I've always had trouble with this card. But onto the matchups. Cosmos can be annoying because they just float, so they can just keep on whittling you out, and they just have so much toolbox, but I feel like the floating is what really gets it, and the fact that, oh, I'm gonna summon out, like they have a Dark Lady, so they can negate Herald of Perfection, but again, Herald of Perfection can negate more than once. It's not once per chain, so you can keep on using Herald of Perfection's effect, but nonetheless, they can banish, they can just do a whole bunch of stuff, so to just waste your resources really quickly. Monarchs are annoying because a lot of them are playing Majesty's Fiends and Vanity's Fiend, and that just kind of poops on your deck. And Domain really hurts this deck, especially if you don't have Twin Twister, because then you can't get out this guy. And I feel with Blue Eyes being a thing, like Blue Eyes, this deck is probably one of its better matchups, unless they just summon out a Blue Eyes alt dragon and then just attack over it. But Blue Eyes is probably one of this better matchup, but because Blue Eyes is so popular and because Blue Eyes won the Worlds, a lot of people probably already have Land Imprisoning Mirror in their side deck, so that kind of sucks. Besides that, I mean, if you wanted to play this deck competitively, you do have access to cards like Rivalry and Gozen. That's something that you could put in your side deck to really mess with people. But this deck doesn't really work well with traps. You could put in Denko Sekka if you're afraid of traps. That's definitely something. And then Burning Abyss can be very annoying because they can get off, if they do it right, they can just manipulate chain links to where they can get out of Farfa and then just banish your monster. Like Farfa, chain link once, Barbar, chain link 2. And then it's like, alright, am I going to negate a Barbar? Probably should, because he's going to banish my Perfection. So it can be very annoying. Kieran can be annoying because he doesn't get destroyed. You can negate his effect. And that can, if you can do that consistently, that can be very nice. And if you can prevent a Pendulum summon by just negating their spells over and over again, that can be nice. But Pendulums do have a lot of access to a lot of variety of different things. It depends on what deck they're playing and how many you have in your hand. That is why I really like Maxi in this deck. That's why I really like Desires in this deck, because it's the last thing you activate. And if you can draw just one or two more Fairy type monsters, it just really just helps out with Herald of Perfection. Anyways, now onto the extra deck. So extra normal summon out a level 4 lower, Double Lightning, so Armades. Requires 3 materials, and it's a great one to make if you're going first because you can get rid of a card from your opponent's hand. And this also requires 30, your opponent's monster effects cannot be activated. And when an opponent's monster effect is activated, you can detach an extra 0 material to negate it, so you can prevent the floating. And then Teltros just allows you to pop a card, and either your opponent can't respond, and then pop another card, and you drew off of the first pop. Dark Rebellion so allows you to increase attack, Utopia to make Utopia the landing, 101 for removal, Giant Handful if we want more stun and negation, Castel just to remove more cards, Fairy Churro to draw more cards, definitely very nice to have access to this card. Tsukiyomi is really nice to have access to this card because this card allows you to ditch your hand, draw 2 cards. So if you only have 1 card in your hand, very nice. And then it allows you to fill up your graveyard with for Ritual Sanctuary, so if you have 2 spells, ditch 1 and like search something like another spell or something, and then ditch them to the graveyard and draw 2 more cards, and then use them to summon them up. So combos. Deck us an Emerald to return our monsters that are in the graveyard. Sometimes you really have to get rid of certain monsters for Herald of Perfection, and it can get really annoying if you get rid of all these monsters. So Dagus Emerald helps out there, just being able to put them back into your deck. And then a Bistrella for just whatever matchup you're facing. Burning Abyss, Cosmos. You could use it against Blue Eyes, but I wouldn't recommend it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Again, I think this deck has great potential, but if you're facing a good player that knows how to play their deck, it can come down to luck. It can come down to luck. And that's better. That can honestly be better than just outright not having a chance, as a lot of decks do, such as Gladiator Beast or something random, like Black Wings. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this deck profile, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.